Welcome back to Munchies with Maya. Today we're making chicken parm. So let's start. We've got our ingredients: some chicken, some bread, garlic bread of course. We have our nice spices that we're going to use, some tomato sauce, fresh mozzarella of course, only the best for my guests, some garlic, tomato paste, heavy cream for the sauce, again oregano, panko for the breading, some flour, some butter to make the sauce once again, and then I got this really cool pasta shape, long fusilli. Alright, so then let's get this started for y'all. First things first, we're going to put some water to boil, large pot, and then we have our oven set to 375 degrees for our chicken. So here we have our dredging station for our chicken. We have some flour mixed with already the spices that I showed earlier. We have an egg cracked with salt and pepper, and then we have panko breadcrumbs. These are already seasoned, so I didn't season them. And so I'm going to show you the method that we're going to use. So I chose panko today because it's a crispier breadcrumb. That way we'll have a crispier chicken result. And you know, who doesn't want crispy chicken? Okay, so here we have the chicken that I bought. I already bought it pre-thin cut. That way I don't have to pound it out thin myself. So what we're going to do is use the wet dry hand method when we're dredging. And I'm going to show you guys what that looks like right now. Okay, so the wet hand dry hand method means I'm going to use one hand to touch the dry ingredients, being the flour and the breadcrumbs, and I'm going to use this hand to touch the wet, meaning the egg. So how we do that is we're going to go in here with our chicken into the flour. We're going to get that nice and thinged, flip it, get it nice and coated, and then we're going to use the same hand still, shake that off, then we're going to put that in our eggs, move that around, get it nice and schwizzified. I'm going to use the same hand to flip, and now we're going to use the wet hand to touch, and then we're going to bring this slippery sucker right back into the flour, because I like to do a double coat to ensure that the coating will stick to the chicken. So we're going to do this, use this wet hand still, pat it in real good, then we're going to flip. Then again, we're going to go back to our dry hand, put the flour on the chicken to make sure. Really get it in there. And then, once again, we're going to shake this off. Go back into the eggs. Really get that in again. Flip. And then, I'm going to put this into the panko. This in here, let that drip a little, and then insert it into the panko, to which we're going to press that in. We're going to use the wet hand still to flip, and then we're going to use our dry hand to really put it on there, really pat it down, and then we're going to repeat this step 2 more times for the amount of chicken pieces that I have, and then move on from there. chicken is breaded, we're gonna add it to our pan of a tablespoon of butter and a drizzle of olive oil over like medium-high heat, and we're gonna cook that until it's brown on both sides. Matter if our chicken is cooked through all the way, because we're going to put it in the oven to melt with the mozzarella. When it's done, we're just looking for a nice crispy brown exterior. So while our chicken is going, our water should be boiling by now, and it is. So we're going to add our noodles and we're going to cook this till al dente. I got this really fun shape called long silly. It's really pretty. That's the only reason I got it. Okay, so this will probably take 9 to 10 minutes, and then we're going to drain it and then make our sauce. Now we're going to start the garlic bread portion of our dish. So what I'm going to do is cut the bread in half horizontally, like such. Like such. That's okay. So now I'm gonna make the garlic butter, spread it onto the bread, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. So now that my chicken is brown on both sides, I took it out and I put it in a baking pan. And now we're gonna add some tomato sauce on top, like so. I'm not gonna put that much because I want it to soak through the nice breading that I fought so hard to get nice and crispy. So now that you have your tomato sauce on, you're gonna add as much mozzarella as you'd like. I'm going to do about 2 or 3 slices, like so. And we're going to repeat this process for all the pieces of chicken that I have. And then we're going to bake this 375 for about 10 to 15 minutes until the mozzarella is all nice and melty and our chicken is cooked through. So now we're going to start our pasta sauce. So I put a tablespoon of butter in here. I'm going to wait for it to melt. Then I'm going to throw in about 1.5 cloves of chopped garlic. And then I'm going to add in some tomato paste, let that cook, add in some heavy cream, and get that going. Okay guys, so I just pulled the chicken from the oven. It's looking nice and brown and crispy. And then in the back we have our pasta and our sauce, and it's nice and finished. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna assemble a plate for our guests, and then we're gonna get their reactions.
Look at
It's great to hear.
the texture of this pasta is hilarious.
because it's curly?
Yes. But overall, 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? We'll take that. We'll take that. Okie doke. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Munchies with Maya, guys. You heard it here first. Chicken parm? 9 out of 10. Comment below at what I should make next week.